So without further ado, let's bring on our first guest, Alex. Alex, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Michael. Happy to be here.
All right, I'm glad you're here. All right, you are the co-founder and CEO of Lively, and really what it is, it's a modern home HSA platform for individuals and employers. Let me give you the stage for a second. Give us some background on yourself, and then let's get right into what Lively Me does, okay?
Sure, thank you. So I am the co-founder and CEO. Originally was an engineer by degree, and then over about an 8-year period, I spent my way across a couple different payment processing platform companies as well as a benefits platform company. Really got some really good experience in both benefits as well as payments infrastructure. And what we're building here at Lively is effectively a combination of those two. And just in terms of like the context for the company, we started working. So my co-founder and I, we've actually been friends our entire life. And about 2 years ago, we got together to start working on this company. Really on the side, we went through a couple different personal experiences in our life that really made us realize what it means to sacrifice your personal and financial health due to healthcare costs. And so we started working on this company because the health savings account is really just this very powerful utility to not only save for healthcare but really plan for today's costs as well. And so we built it. We started building the product a little over a year ago and launched it on March 1st of this year, and then very recently launched investment capabilities through TD Ameritrade.
Congratulations on your partner, TD Ameritrade. I like the company.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, who should use a HSA?
Yeah, I mean, really, the one requirement that you have in order to open and fund and contribute to your health savings account is that you're on a qualifying high-deductible health plan. Mm-hmm. So really, the way that we think about it is anyone that has a high-deductible health plan should open an HSA, even if they're not necessarily funding it. The reality is, as you incur costs for healthcare, if you have this HSA and you have money in that HSA, it's a great way to pay for that, during the everyday course of spending. Now, let's just say you're a relatively young, healthy individual, and you're able to allocate some money into your HSA. It's a great way to plan for future costs, whether it's tomorrow or 30 years from now. Because the beauty of the HSA is once the funds are in there, they can actually be accessed at any time when used for qualified medical expenses, and it's tax and penalty free. And one of the amazing things about the HSA in comparison to the 401k, for example, is that the HSA carries a triple tax advantage. So it's tax-free money going into the HSA. You can invest those funds through our partnership with TD Ameritrade, and any gains that you incur is tax-free as well. And unlike a 401k, you can actually access your HSA money at any time, tax and penalty-free when used on qualified medical expenses, and that's where it carries that triple tax advantage.
What about mandatory distributions later?
So unlike a 401k, the HSA actually does not have a requirement for mandatory distribution.
Okay. All right. What are you expecting these healthcare costs or retirement costs to exceed? Where do you think that's going?
Yeah, so today the average couple between the time that they retire and live through life expectancy will spend just under $300,000 on out-of-pocket healthcare expenses. And I think as time goes on, one thing that everyone can really agree on is that healthcare costs are continuing to rise. And so for me, for example, when I get into retirement, I'm scared to think of what those costs actually will end up being, 25, 30 years from now. But it's a great way to really plan for those future costs.
Okay. In regards to that, is just planning for, but any other advice about what we can do about this?
Yeah, I mean, I think, all people can really do is, everyone needs healthcare. And so I think in a scenario where healthcare costs are continuing to rise, the high deductible health plan, which is the plan that you couple an HSA with, really does carry the lowest premium. And so if a user is trying to optimize for the monthly premium associated to their healthcare insurance, and they pick the high deductible health plan, it's really, planning for whether it's a cost today of care or really for the future. The HSA really is a great mechanism to be able to do it. Our mission really as a company is to enable people to optimally save for healthcare as well as optimally spend it over time. So there's a lot of things that we're working on within the product itself to enable people, with a limited amount of money that they do have to spend on healthcare, to ensure that it's going the furthest.
What about the political landscape? The proposed health bills that are coming into, coming up for vote and things of that nature.
Yeah, we get asked that all the time. If you look at the history of the HSA, it was implemented back in 2004 under the Republican administration. Grew to more than it ever has under the Democrats. And then if you look at today, a lot of the overwhelming majority of bills that have been proposed to replace the ACA really has the HSA as a cornerstone of it, whether it's increasing contribution amounts, what you can actually spend your money on, and even, potentially even opening it up where you don't have to be on a high deductible health plan to open up an HSA itself. So I think, if you look at what's happening in Washington, we think that the HSA going forward will continue to be a very powerful mechanism for users to continue to afford these costs as they go up.
Okay. You recently added HSA investments to your offering. What's the significance here?
Yeah, so when you look at the HSA, one of the beauties of it is that you can actually invest the money that's sitting in there, and those gains that you incur are again tax free. When we first launched the product, we didn't have an investment capability. We knew we had to build it, but one thing that we wanted to do is take our time and figure out what is the right platform and the right way for our users to be able to invest their money. And I think as we surveyed a lot of our users and talked to people that were potentially thinking about opening an account with us, one thing that kind of struck out is the user just wanted choice. They wanted to be able to pick, what they specifically wanted to invest in themselves. And so as we looked in the market to find a provider to, that kind of echoed, our sentiment in the market and how we wanted to build a product, TD Ameritrade was a great partner for us because they offer a self-directed option, which is the one that we support. So our users can pick, they can really invest in anything that they want that TD supports, whether it's, no-cost ETFs, low-cost mutual funds, buying shares of Apple, for example, whatever the risk profile that an individual user wants to set up, they'll be able to do that through our investment option. And, we look at investment as a great way for people to really plan for the future, especially those that don't need to access their HSA money to pay for healthcare costs today.
Well, we've got less than a minute left in the interview. Are you accepting outside investments, or are you just growing it through customer appreciation?
Yeah, I think today we actually just closed our current round of funding, and we have some great investors that are behind us. Today, we're not actually actively looking for any additional capital for the business. What we're really focused on today is continuing to grow and build products. We have a long list of things that our users, are asking for and requesting, and our goal is to really build those things out so that our users and future users will have the best experience possible.
All right. Alex, thanks for being a guest on the show. Appreciate that. I know it's going to do well.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate the time.
My pleasure. Alex Cyriac, LivelyMe, LivelyMe.com. We're going to come back after this segment with our private equity spotlight and Ed Baxter, and then we'll bring in George Marcus. You've been listening to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba, brought to you by Tycon Partners.